This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. We're in Nottingham and I'm joined by Stefy Ball. Firstly, Stefy, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Do you want me to hold that for you?
No, I'll hold it to
back and forth. Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. Nice to be back out.
It is indeed. It's good to see you in person to do the interview as well. The first one we've done in person, obviously we've been doing a lot over Zoom.
Zooms, yes. I think we had a couple of years of Zooms, didn't we? The whole, not just me and you, but the whole world. So, yeah, first official one face to face.
Let's make it one to remember then, yeah. Stefy. Obviously, Terri Harper makes her ring return on Saturday night. Before we come on to Saturday, talk to me about just getting her back motivated, back in love with the sport, because I was listening to some of her comments earlier in interviews that she gave, and she said that she just found herself falling into that trap of what could be next for her 100%. Because of everything that was lined up if she had been successful against Baumgardner.
I think what in hindsight, looking back, I mean, it's crazy really. She turned professional at 21 years old. With 16 amateur fights, no senior contest. And I've banged the drum and pushed her to the highest heights. And after only 9 fights, she beats a great fighter in Eva Wallström and put on a fantastic performance on winning the WBC title at just 23 years old. Very young, very inexperienced. No experience on the big stage, not even in amateur level, going to different countries. So, it's almost as if she'd been pushed to the highest of heights with no experience. And then all of a sudden it's talk of life-changing opportunities, unifications, undisputed, and a lot of pressure for her. We are even having to think our mind must have been for a 23, 24-year-old to have all this honour, main events on occasions, and it must have been hard. So there were no time to sit back, reflect, recap. She's just sat at top at tree in women's boxing, and and I just think probably just too much too soon, 100% too much too soon, and then obviously the time out and the injury. One has the injuries, and then not to happen once, but to happen twice. A full year out with no fights, injured, and still, we're pushed to come straight back in and dared to be great with a unification, and then obviously that went wrong with the injury, and then straight back in it with a great fight with Alycia, and we know how good Alycia was. It just, we dared to be great. Terri's a real fighter, hence coming straight back in originally with Andi. So, all that pressure's gone now. She's not world champion. She's 25-year-old. She's young, and we've got time to recap and be in learning fights. These kind of opponents where they are world level, but not quite at the highest level. And get back active, let's get back busy, and first of all get a mindset. She's back in love with boxing. There's no pressure of, if we win this, that's how much you're getting paid. If we win this, and unifications and going to America, a lot of pressure, bless her, on her, and it's gone now, and she feels it's gone. And now we're back in. I mean, look at her smile all week. It's a 25-year-old young lady that got chinned in that last fight, bless her, and she's here loving life and back enjoying it.
Stefy, I saw, again, going back to that loss with Baumgardner, in the ring afterwards, I saw her say, "That's it, look, I'm finished," or something along those lines. Was those thoughts running through her mind after that defeat?
No, I think what she meant with that, she thought she'd messed up and it were done, all them big occasions. So, I said in an interview, do you know the next morning, and I picked her up, and we got in an elevator, and with tears in her eyes, bless her, she says, "What happens now? Have I got sacked?" Do you get me? She thought she was finished, because she's been living a dream. She's changed her life. 3 years ago, she was working at chip shop. She's got her own house and cars and money in bank. It's like she's changed her life, and she thought it was going to end. Not taking into consideration that she just sold out an arena, and she's well loved. And no, that was kind of what she meant by that. But she understands now, and she's done a lot of learning, a lot of thinking. And it's just back to enjoying herself, no pressure. Let's enjoy boxing, enjoy training, and that's the position where we're in at the minute.
Was motivation ever a question for Terri coming back, and with regards to knowing that there's going to be that rebuilding process to try to get to the heights that she was at previously at super featherweight. Was that ever a question with her?
Not at all. Terri is probably the most dedicated fighter that I've had the pleasure to work with. She is a complete athlete. Whatever she does, she gives it 100%. So no motivation whatsoever. It were more now. I think it's me that's put the brakes on. I made her have a few weeks off, go and enjoy yourself. She don't drink, and I was like, go out and have a vodka, Terri. Go and be normal. Be a girl. Get some makeup on and go and have a dance. You know, it was that kind of attitude. And she had a few weeks off. And now moving up this weight, she's just got complete different personality. It's almost as if I was just saying to someone else earlier that I feel like I can remember her first fight with Matchroom as a Matchroom fighter in Manchester when she fought Obanoff, and that kind of personality where everything was stress. It was an IBO world title defence, and there were no pressures, there were no what's next. It was just we were enjoying the moment. And that's what we're going to be doing, is enjoying the moment, get her busy, 3 or 4 fights this year at this kind of level, and just no pressure kind of thing, you know.
Before we do come on to Saturday night, just one question on the Baumgardner loss, for defeat. What went wrong on the night for you, Stefy? Was it simply a matter of she just struggled with the weight so much it impacted her performance, or was there something outside of it?
A number of... sorry, I'm made up with cold, so people listening now... it was just an accumulation of really struggling with that weight. That's when in hindsight and I'm looking back, we didn't realise how bad it was until the WBC check weights, and people will be like, well, if she was struggling, why did she make check weights and blah blah blah? Well, she's very professional and she made check weights because that's in her job and what she's contracted to do, but it was very, very, very hard, and the nutritionist did a fantastic job just getting her at the weight, never mind anything else, because they were very concerned during training, and they expressed the concern that the Terri's got no future at this. But what do? You're WBC champion at world, and you've got a defence of your title. You know, we had to make weight. It's just she had that long out that her body had just grew, and just she's so young, very athletic, and it was just accumulation. The first check weight was extremely hard. The second, then the third, and then on fight week, no carbs whatsoever. Bless her. No menstrual cycle for a few weeks. That her body fats had got that low. It meant, you know what I mean. Women. And people can say what they want and have a judge they want. Women and male fighters are different. They're different bodies. They work different mentally. And it was very hard. But it's done now. And we've never used anything as an excuse, because this is boxing. We win, we lose, we draw. It's what we take from it to move forward. And Alycia Baumgardner did fantastic on that night. And we're happy for her. And look, we gave her an opportunity, and hopefully she can go and change her life. Just like Terri got one when she fight Wallstrom. But Terri will be back. She'll be back, she'll win world titles at multiple weights. It's just the start for her.
If it could happen, is Terri open to the rematch at her new weight, at lightweight?
Yeah, 100%. Terri's a real fighter. She did want that fight. But like I say, that's definitely a fight. I mean, Alicia's still young. It could happen at lightweight, 100%. Alicia will go and have her goals at that weight, and she may come up. By the time she comes up, does Terri move up to 140? It's that kind, you know. This is where we're at. So, first and foremost, we're not chasing no world champion. We're not even interested in a world title fight. I just want Terri to get back busy, get back active, and get back to winning ways at a good level. Not boxing girls who win all the result before we get in. She needs to be in competitive fights, but it's just back winning and back fighting regular is what I want.
So Stefy, coming on to Saturday night, originally it was meant to be Heather Hardy, which would have been a very good test and a very good fight if it could have gone ahead. Obviously Heather pulling out with her own injury. So talk to me about her replacement opponent. What do you know about her?
Yeah, well, originally when I sent Eddie 4 names, she were one of them anyway, and Heather were another one, and there were another 2 girls. So soon as Heather pulled out 3 weeks ago, as soon as I seen that she was scheduled, Yamalina's scheduled to box the following week. So obviously she's fit, ready to go. She was in a championship fight. She's ranked number 7 by the WBA. She's only been beat on points against world champions or former world champions. So it gives us a good gauge of where we're at, and it's a fight that Terri can work on things that we've been working on, At the same time, she's got to be on the ball because the girl can fight. She will come and give it a go, and Terri will have to be aware and switched on to get the result that we're looking for.
I take it the Heather Hardy fight's obviously one which you guys are still looking at to happen, if maybe not next season, is down the line this year. Have you had conversations with Eddie about that fight?
Not really, because obviously I'm not planning on anything. We get this weekend out way, and once this weekend's out way, I'll get on phone to Eddie next week and we'll have a chat then. But it's just this fight this weekend. That's where we're at the minute.
Now, Stefy, obviously, in the build up to this, I saw a photo with Chantelle Cameron and Terri doing some rounds together. I just wanted to touch on that. What was that sparring experience like from your point watching it?
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, Chantelle reached out and just asked if she could come down and use gym, and then she's been with us now a few weeks, and to have her in working with Terry's a massive fan of Chantelle. Terri was fangirling for first week. It was crazy, but yeah, it's been a real pleasure, and Chantelle's a lovely fighter, and she's been very supportive over the last couple of weeks, and I think she's really been enjoying teaming up with us and working, so yeah, it's been good.
I mean, just listening to you speak there, Stefy, saying teaming up with you guys, is this a permanent move then? Has she joined up with the team permanently?
And a decision hasn't been made permanently, but she's been enjoying us then, and that's the main thing, like that's saying that an happy fighter is a dangerous fighter, so who knows moving forward, but it has been very good.
Obviously, away from Chantelle, just going to touch on Jason Cunningham as well. What is the latest with Jason?
Jason is fighting in April, defending his European title against his mandatory challenger, and I believe it should be getting announced possibly tomorrow, fingers crossed.
Perfect timing. So how's Jason obviously feeling about it?
Yeah, Jason's in the gym all the time. He's got to be one of the most improved fighters in Britain. And he's getting all the accolades after all these years and fighting in a away corner. Finally Frank's backing him and he gets the home corner in a big fight, and it will be main event as well. So yeah, I'm pleased for Jason, and he's working hard, and hopefully a good win may set up some kind of push towards a world title.
Stefy, people talk about these kind of Cinderella stories in boxing. We see Jason kind of going through his period now. Maxie Hughes, another guy who's done it as well. But how important is it that in Jason's case, he stays grounded, he stays on top of where he wants to get to, because with every fight that he wins, he could set up just that one massive opportunity which truly could be life-changing.
Jason is probably one of the most grounded people that you could wish to meet. He's very humble. He knows where he's at. I mean, that kid's grinded all his career in a away corner for very little financial gain. Now he's got it in a position that he's got an healthy contract, and he knows what's at stake, and he knows he's got to keep winning, and he potentially could be changing his life off back of that. But he's very dedicated and looking forward to working with Frank. He's excited about that. It was his decision and chose Frank as a promoter. He did have other offers, so yeah, he's very pleased, and it's nice to be working with Frank. He was the first, after all these years in boxing, Jason was the first fighter that signed with him, and then obviously now I've got Raven. She fancied that path that Jason was in, first girl on BT, so it's interesting times working alongside Frank as well, so I'm blessed to have a couple of fighters there. And yeah, Jason's very grounded, and I think he appreciates the position he's in, and he knows that one fight could be life changing, so he's good, like you say, he's got to keep winning for that opportunity.
Stefy, just final one before I let you go, just get your thoughts on the main event this Saturday night, Lee Wood, Michael Conlan. What is your take? It's
an absolute brilliant fight, and it's one of them where one day I'll think Wood, one day I'll think Conlan. So I'm not going to make a prediction who's going to win, because they're both great fighters, but I definitely think it's going to come down to tactics, coaching tactics. They've both got good coaches who's been in these big fights consistently over the last few years. So I'm going to sit on fence who I think's going to win, because I think it's a proper 50, and they're both good kids. So it'd be nice, and I'd be happy for whoever wins it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to sitting down ringside and watching that fight.
Well, Stefy, we'll leave it there now. Leave you to enjoy the rest of your evening and go and check in on Terri ahead of tomorrow's weigh-in. I appreciate your time. Thanks for speaking to me in Boxing Social.
No problem. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.